Kids, it's Father Joe. Just came in from outside. Boy, it's cold as Christmas out there. But it's not Christmas yet. It's Advent. We have these things, these called Advent wreaths. So I thought I'd just take a moment to kind of explain them. So we have 4 candles, and that's so for the 4 weeks before Christmas. And each candle, well, they're not all different colors. There's 2 different colors. We call this violet, not purple, and rose, not pink. And it's just a way for us to prepare for Christmas in a nice spiritual way, to really be thinking about Jesus. So when you go to church and you see these, we light each one for each different week. The first, the second, the rose one is the third, and then the last violet one is the fourth, and then it's Christmas. Pretty good, huh? Great. So, right to the story. Last week we read a story about Mary. This week we're reading a story called The Spider Who Saved Christmas. Okay? So, I'm going to read it and follow along, okay? Here we go. You're probably wondering what a spider has to do with Christmas. Well, I'm going to tell you, okay? So here we begin. The Spider Who Saved Christmas. In the days of Herod, the king of Judea, that's where Mary and Joseph lived, Mary and her husband Joseph and the baby Jesus fled Bethlehem, bound for the land of Egypt. So the baby Jesus has just been born, right? Weary from their journey, they sought refuge in the hill country. As they entered the cave, a great spider trembled at the child's cry. Remember, they're in a cave because they're trying to stay warm and be careful. Also, King Herod was very mean, and he was trying to find all the little kids and not be very nice to them. So when they got in, the spider was filled with wonder. She scampered to the corner of the silk, that's her web, where a sack of her eggs, which is what her children hung. They were safe, swallowed in the golden strands she had spent hours knitting around them. She peered down at the fascinating strangers below them, and that's Mary and Joseph. The woman, cradling the baby Jesus in her mantle, reclined beneath the web. "We can't stay here, Mary," Joseph said. "Herod's men are coming." For he had been warned in a dream that King Herod sought to hurt Jesus. "Jesus won't be safe until we reach Egypt." Mary nodded and said, "Fear not, Joseph." The spider dropped in a line of webbing to get closer to the child, who seemed to glow with his own radiance. Joseph's eyes turned hard when he saw the spider. He says, "Be still, there are spiders here." "Leave it, Joseph," Mary said. "They're dangerous," Joseph said. "All are here for a reason," Mary said. "Let it be." There they are. If you can see them. All right. She's right. All are here for a reason. Now, at the hum of the woman's voice, the spider relaxed, but dare not leave the shadows. "Rest, Joseph," Mary patted the ground next to her. Joseph lay next to the child and threw his cloak over the 3 of them. Outside the cave, they heard all the terrible things that Herod was trying to do. "Poor children," Joseph said. "The soldiers are very close." "Dim the light," Mary whispered. "I'm sorry we're in this horrible place," he said. "It's where we're meant to be," Mary said. "There's beauty even here." "Pray for our safety," Joseph said. The spider moved to the edge of her silk and took the whole scene in. Her lines of her web floated up to the ceiling and stretched over the far walls of the cave as they had never been disturbed. The spider rarely walked to the length of her silk to the far cave wall, testing the strengths of her new line. The spider has an idea. That's why the spider is making the web. Suddenly, the child below cried, sending a vibration through the web. The spider just stared down at this child Jesus with fascination. She instantly understood what she had to do. There's the baby Jesus. There's the spider making her web. The spider hung upside down from the cave's mouth and descended on a thick golden line until she reached the floor. She climbed back up the opening and did this over and over and over again. It's her working on her web. Now, when it was daybreak and the spider's work was done, the cave was covered by a beautiful golden veil of webbing, sealing it off completely. What do you think that she was trying to do, the spider? She's trying to cover the entrance of the cave, children, so that all those mean men from King Herod can't find Mary and Joseph and Jesus, and they'll be safe. If the spider's children returned to the darkness of their own little webs, but not the spider. She rested at the very outside of the center of the web. She's keeping an eye out. She's very, very brave. As it came to pass, the spider felt the approach of 3 soldiers, King Herod's soldiers, climbing the hillside. They carried blood-slicked swords and spoke in loud, crude voices. You two, get up there and inspect that cave. Why would a baby boy in a cave? You have your orders, inspect every dwelling. A pair of soldiers clambered up to the cave. They're trying to find Mary and Joseph and Jesus. But they can't, because why? Because the spider rolled that beautiful web so they can't see inside, see? That's Joseph on the inside, and you can see their shadows on the outside. But because of the web, they can't see him, and he's safe, or Jesus. The golden screen blocking the outside world puzzled the soldier. Joseph saw 2 shadows of 2 huge soldiers, one waving a sword. He tightened the grip on his staff, getting ready to defend his family if he had to. What should we do? One of the soldiers whispered. No one's entered this cave. If they were, the web would be broken. You're right, the other soldier said. There's no newborn baby in here, only newborn spiders. Everything's fine up here, and they left. Inside the cave, Joseph lowered his staff and fell against the rocky wall, giving thanks for their safety. Soldiers came as you slept. The spider saved Jesus and us, Joseph said, staring at the web. I told you, she said, all are here for a reason. Jesus, Mary, and Joseph remained in the cave another day before taking their leave. They pulled back a piece of the spider's golden curtains and passed from the cave, and the child's hand grazed the web as they hastened to Egypt, to safety. See little baby Jesus touching the web? He's happy. Soon after, the spider repaired the golden curtain, that's her web, to the cave. Basking in the sunlight, she waited the return of the child with a sweet cry she would never forget. Even today, golden silk weavers, just like that spider, can be found on their webs in the sun, waiting and waiting, and theirs is considered the most precious of all the spider's silk, because this silk saved baby Jesus. The spider's gift to the Christ child is remembered in tinsel that we use on Christmas trees all over the world at Christmas time. So next time you see tinsel on a tree, remember that spider, right? Who, though small and feared, did something beautiful for Jesus as only she could. Like each of us, she was here for a reason. What a great story. You're here for a reason, children. It doesn't matter how small we are, right? We're here for a reason. And Jesus, we can do beautiful things for Jesus. So next week, for the 3rd Sunday of Advent, when we light the rose-colored candle, we're going to read this story. This story is called The Baby in the Manger. I'm looking forward to this one. This one has some really good pictures in it. There's one of a priest in it. He's got glasses like me, but he has a beard and a mustache. So I have a week to grow a beard and a mustache so I can look just like him. Thank you, kids. See you next week. Have a great Advent. Bye now.